Hey guys, Parfax here. Today, I am bringing you a video on some tips and tricks that'll help you out when you're new playing New World. All right, let's get started. So you've made your first character in New World, and you're running around this gorgeous world. I mean, just look at it. But you want to make your life a little bit easier than maybe when you first started your, I don't know, last MMO. Well, this video, like I said, is going to help you with those things. We're essentially going to go from the time you make your new character to right around level 30. Now, right now, my character is only level 15, but not a whole lot changes from about 8 to 15. We just go through a couple steps and we kind of repeat them over and over and over again. All right, so let's first start talking about when you brand new make your character. When you make your character, it's going to take you through this tutorial. You're going to go kill this nice little boss. Once you're done with the boss, you're going to come to this starter zone or the tutorial zone. Now, the one thing some people like to do is they like to rush. They don't worry about the tutorial. They run into town. Because if you don't know, essentially you can almost go to any town or at least any of the lower towns, and you can actually start leveling through there. They all have zones that have lower level mobs. They have lower level quests. Now, the farther north you go, a lot of times you'll find more mobs that are higher level. So it's still nice to kind of stay in the southern towns, but you can still go to some of them towns, do some very easy quests, and still level up pretty easily. So if your guild is all in one town, you can still go there and level. It might be a little bit harder, but you can still do it, and you'll still get quests that'll give you a decent amount of experience. Now, before you do that, one big thing that you must do is do these starter quests. I know a lot of people don't like to do them, and a lot of people want to skip to the main quests, but it does a couple things for you. First, the quests will boost you to the level you need to get to all the other zones. It's going to get you to right around, I believe it's about level 6 before you exit it, and then it's going to have you go to your first town, and it's going to help you get to picking your syndicate, and that's a big thing which we'll touch on in a minute. But before we do that, there's one thing that I tell everybody that I think you should do in that starter zone, and that's gather. Now, I know some people are gonna be like, Parfax, I really don't want to gather. I'm not a gatherer. I've never been a gatherer. I'm here to PvE. I'm here to PvP, whatever. Well, here's the thing. One, if you are a bow user, you're gonna gather. You might say, no, I'm not. Yeah, you are. You go through so many arrows, you're going to have to gather and craft them. It may be a pain in the butt and you might not like it, but that is what it is. You're not going to be able to buy them. And if you are, you're going to either be broke or they're just not going to have enough on the marketplace. I even tried to buy some. Now, I got a late start to the game and I still tried to buy some and there were barely any on the market. It's very, very slim pickings because everybody who's using an archer, they're crafting their arrows as well. So everybody's using a lot of their resources. Now, if you don't know how leveling works, we'll touch on that in a little bit, but it's also going to come back to this gathering thing I'm talking about. You're going to have a lot of quests. They're going to allow you to use your resources that you've gathered for essentially free golden experience. You're going to get these things called boards or mission boards in towns, which I will show you here in a little bit. And it's going to allow you to basically trade in your resources to help the town and to help give you experience and gold. Now, some stuff you'll be able to sell for more gold than actually the board gives you, but you don't get the experience. That's why it's very important to start gathering. And there's no better zone to start gathering than the first tutorial zone that you walk into. There is very little places in the game where everything that you need is in such a tight little area that it allows you to just sit there, take a little bit extra time and gather. Now, what are we looking at gathering? We're not necessarily looking at gathering everything. A lot of people chop a bunch of wood. Wood is not something that I put a high priority on. And why? Because wood you can get anywhere. There are young trees and these base trees that you can find essentially about everywhere that will allow you to go out and essentially anytime you need wood, you can just go chop it down. Now, The big thing, especially if you're a bow user, is to pick up flint. You're seeing in this clip me constantly bending down and picking up the flint. Flint is something you use for your very first arrow. And you need flint and feathers, essentially, is what you need to make your arrow. I think you might need wood too. But you're going to need these, and you're going to go through a ton of arrows. So you need to continuously pick up flint. Now, if you're like Parfax, I don't plan on making an archer. I don't plan on using my bow. Well, you still need flint for some town project boards. So you can take that flint and turn it into golden experience that way, or you can even just sell it on the marketplace. It'll sell for a decent chunk, especially at the beginning. Even now, I'm sure it sells for enough that it's worth your time to pick up. Now, if you're like level 30, 35 and you're looking at just making gold, that's probably not the best thing to do. But when you're first starting, a little bit of gold goes a long way. Next, the big thing is going to be anything that you can gather. And by gathering, I mean with your sickle. You're going to see me start picking up hemp, which are these taller, like green bases with like a pinkish purple top. And then you're going to see me start gathering these tiny little purple plants. Now, the tiny little purple plants are really what you want to look at, because the one thing you want to craft early is potions, especially if you're looking at PvP. Everybody saw me on stream. I just kept getting frustrated because I wasn't using potions and everybody was chugging potions. And even the base potion gives you back a lot of healing. Well, come to find out that it's super easy to craft a potion. It's this little purple plant and water for the very base potion. So it's very, very useful to start gathering this stuff just so you can have your potions. Potions, you can buy some in the marketplace, but I went and bought everything out, and they're fairly cheap because it is a cheap resource. But I still had to spend my own gold to buy them, and I bought them out. So what if you wanted to buy the potions after me? You wouldn't have had any potions to buy because I had done that. Now, the mobs in this game can hit really hard. There are going to be times where you're going to want potions for PvE. So I suggest you gather those resources. Now, when it comes to the stones and the leather, you're going to need those for town projects and you're going to need those for quests. But there's not a big emphasis on getting them very soon. Now, if you want to, you kill a mob, you get the leather. You're going to use a ton of leather through this process. Now, you're not going to use nearly as much stone, but you're going to use a ton of leather. Now, when it comes to stone, you will use it. There'll be some boards, but I suggest you just waiting for those. Get a little bit of mining in as you can. Put some in your storage, and then kind of go about your day. I really didn't mine a whole lot of stone when a project board needed it. I went out and mined it. It doesn't take very long. There's stone everywhere. It is not something you have to worry about, but it is something that you can do to kind of help you out. Now, wood, like I said, you can chop it anywhere. You don't worry about it. Stone, don't worry about it. Leather, you're going to find it everywhere. Every zone you go to is going to have low-level mobs that you can skin. So you can skin them if you want, if you got a mob down, but it's not a big deal. So one of the next resources, and I mentioned it earlier, as you can see here, I am on my character. The clips you were seeing was from a new character that I made just to kind of show you guys some of the starter zones. And you can see that I was picking up a bunch of stuff. These little guys right here. Oh, I did not mean to fire. These turkeys. Always kill them and always skin them. They give you feathers that you need for arrows. Now, even if you're not looking to be a gatherer, you're going to need two things that this drops. You're going to need to see that poultry meat. It is a meat that you can use for light rations that you're going to use for the board. And it's going to give you feathers, which sell for a decent amount and can craft you arrows. So I always kill turkeys when I see them. The voices you were here, I was actually out here recording that voiceover, and you could probably hear some turkeys and elk and stuff like that running by. But anytime you see a turkey, I suggest killing it. Now you'll get to the point where you'll probably have more feathers than you know what to do with, or you're at a point where you know, you don't need the money and it's not worth your time to gather it, and that's fine. But we're kind of talking about still the very early stages of your leveling process. I still level 15 kill them, I mean, I'm an archer. I'm going to need feathers for a long period of time. But just kill them. Just trust me. You can make a lot of money doing it. You can, it's just going to help you out or one of your friends out. This is an MMO. We're going to play together, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, I'm going to go in town, and we're going to talk a little bit about questing after you reach town. We're going to talk about some storage, and we're going to talk about PvP. All right? Just 1 second. All right, so I am in town here, and this isn't the town you guys will be in. You guys will be in your first town, as I believe, First Light down here in this settlement. First Light's Hamlet. But it's essentially going to look very similar, at least some of the resources it has. Now, once you reach right around level 8, it's going to ask you to pick a faction. Even if you don't plan on PvPing, you still want to pick, you'll still pick a faction. It's what's going to allow you to join a company, which if you don't know what companies are, it's essentially a guild. And it's going to give you some very well-needed quests. So I picked Syndicate. So here is my Syndicate person. It's going to be someone, you know, something different for you. Or if you've picked a different faction, it's going to be different. So there's the Syndicate. Then there's the green and then like the orange. I forget what they're called. I think this is the orange one here. No, that's the kitchen. But you can see the kind of icons above them. I forget exactly what they're called. Don't hate me for it. But what you're gonna do is you want to come over here and you want to talk to your Syndicate person. You're gonna open up the faction board and you want to make sure you're doing these 3 quests. Now, if you have a group, I suggest you doing these 3 quests as well. These are very good. They're going to give you experience. They're going to give you these currency tokens, which I've actually bought some gear from this vendor already. You probably should wait, but I decided to go ahead and buy some gear because, you know, whatever. It's fun. We're going to do it. So what these are your faction quests. It's going to give you these faction tokens. It's going to give you a lot of experience, and it's just going to help you out a ton. So what you're going to do to level is you're going to grab those, and you're just going to start cycling through them. Now, you're going to find quests in town. I don't know if I have any quests here to pick up. I do. Okay, so we're going to go up here, and I'll show you what the quest looks like. Now, it's going to be pretty easy, and you're going to know. But you see this little marker here? These are going to be your quests. So you're going here. We're going to talk to this girl right here.
Hello.
Confidence a good thing. Yep, accept our quest. They're going to give us some rewards. Sorry, the game is a little laggy at times. Oh, okay. So you're going to pick up the quests, and you're just going to essentially go around doing them over and over and over again. Now, before I mentioned that there is a board that you can pick up quests at. Man, the server is not doing well right now. That is part of the reason why there is a maintenance in like 15 minutes. We got to get this recording done here soon. And I'm sorry. This is choppy. I did not expect it to be this choppy. All right. So every town, you'll see it on here, this little icon, has a project board. Now, I'm in the best town currently because it has a full slate of quests that you can do. Now, these right here are all activated by somebody who has claimed the territory, and somebody has claimed this territory. But even if you have a town that's not claimed, you'll have quests down here. So make sure you go up here. You see what it says. Like here, it says acquire 30 timber. So all I gotta do is chop down some wood, refine it, get some timber, turn it in. We have potions. Now here, these potions right here, these 10 potions are worth more than the 3. So if I don't want the 25 experience, I can just, let's say I don't want this quest. I can just abandon it, and we can deliver fish oil. Now, if we take this and then abandon it again, there will be nothing there. So this board will refresh every so often. I forget, I think it's 5 minutes. Every 5 minutes, this board will refresh. So if we don't want this, we can do that. Hunt goats, we're going to keep that because that's actually a decent one. But if we don't want this, we're going to abandon it. Acquire 10 feathers. Boom. I have 10 feathers because remember I told you that you want to make sure you're getting feathers, right? We just turned it in. We got experience in gold while just looking at our board, and I was making this video. I didn't do anything other than I've already gathered this stuff. I had them with me, and we turned in our quests. So make sure you come to the board, pick them out. If you don't like it, abandon it. It's not a big deal. But it's very, very important that you come here get those quests, get all the quests, and just kind of do a big loop, do all your quests, turn them in, and restart it all over again. Now, we talked a little bit about PvP, and we talked about the faction vendor there and the quests that are PvP. If you're trying to be efficient and looking to just kind of level and get leveled up, I suggest you not turn PvP on. Now, how do you PvP? PvP, once you pick your faction, will have an icon down here. As you can see here, this is my faction icon. As you can see, you get a 5% experience bonus when you're flagged, but players can kill you. All you have to do while you're in town is hit U, and you see now it goes across, and PvP is enabled. Now, I have been running around with PvP enabled on my stream. We've gotten to a lot of fights. It's been a ton of fun. But the very big downside of actually turning on this little icon right here is it sometimes can take you a long time to complete quests. Part of the reason why I'm 15 and not something like 18 or 20 is because I've spent a couple hours on 2 quests, essentially PvPing over and over and over again. Now, you're going to find people that aren't out there just killing everybody that's red, but you're also going to find groups of 4 and 5 people roaming around killing solo people. You're going to find people running in 2s or 3s killing solo people, and you're going to find a bunch of people that are 1 or 2, and they're just, anytime they see a red, it's a fight. Now, have I said that I've had fun? I've had an absolute blast running around PvPing, but it has extremely slowed down my leveling process, and I have since turned it off, at least until we're going to hit like level 20, and then we're going to turn it back on, or I can get a group so we can start doing the PvP quests through the Syndicate vendor. Next, let's talk a little bit about storage. So I'm here at my storage. You can see storage shed. And if I look, I don't have anything in here. You might be like, Parfax, why don't you have anything in your storage? That's because every city has their own storage. So if there's something that you want to do, or something like in this storage right here, can I see it? Yeah, look at this storage in here. I got a decent amount of stuff. We got some stone, we have some blueberries, we have some just random stuff that in order for me to actually get, I have to run all the way down there or fast travel down there to get them. Now, I do have my recall set to here. I can recall to the inn, and it has a decent little cooldown. I don't remember the exact cooldown, but you can also use this fast travel potions. But I suggest you not using a ton of this, because you're really going to want to use it, you know, when you really need to get somewhere, and it is pretty valuable. So I tend to try not to fast travel anywhere I go. I essentially walk, which can be quite annoying, but it is what it is. Now, we have this icon on the map here, and we can go to J so you can kind of see it. That is your main storyline quest. You're going to want to do this essentially when it comes up. It sees level 14. It'll give you a level requirement. A lot of them, I think your first one's like at 10, then 12, and then 14. I think I got this quest before I was level 14. But these give you, look at this, 2,000 experience. So they give you a ton of experience, and they give you, 64 gold, and give you 100. Basically, that's the material that you get when you want to fast travel. So it's very crucial to do these when they come up. So essentially, your loop is going to be doing your syndicate quests, doing your board quests, and then doing your main story quests whenever you can. Now, as you're leveling, you're also going to get something called territory standing. Essentially, what this is it is a skill line or a passive skill line that you get while doing stuff in the zone. So I was in First Light for a long period of time. This is going to be the first area that you go to. And you can see these are the bonuses that I've acquired. Now, how do you acquire those bonuses? Essentially, just by doing quests and stuff in that area. You're going to earn experience. And then it's going to give you the chance to pick a skill. So obviously, I like the experience one. It's the best. Territory standing's good. I also like increased gathering speed because we are going to gather. I don't care about necessarily the crafting fee. The tax can be good depending on your actual tax. But storage weight is really good too. So we're going to go here. We're just going to pick storage weight. I do plan on being in Everfall for a while. This might be my home base. I think this is where my guild's home base is currently. So we're going to be spending a lot of time here. So I'm going to want to level that up. and start getting the passives. Obviously, anytime EXP gets up, I smash that because that is the most important in my opinion. But it is something to think about every time that levels up. And it's a pretty cool little system that you get to kind of mess around with. And, you know, so here we have 5% gathering, 13.1 standing, 10% experience, and 25 storage in the First of Light. Next, we're going to talk about your gear. Now, I don't suggest really buying much gear from the vendor. I would save your gold. I did buy some off the PvP vendor, but that's not something I suggest people do. Now, the way gear works in this is you can repair it. How you repair it is you need these things down here called repair kits. And how you get those, now, I'm not going to do it. I forgot to save a piece of gear. Yeah, I don't have anything that I can actually do it with, but let's take off this. You see here we have repair. The options are repair, salvage, equip, discard, link in chat, die, lock, change skin. So essentially, if I was to hit S left click, I could destroy this piece of gear and I could get more repair kits. So when I get repair kits, for instance, this is my lowest piece of gear here. So we're just going to hit repair. So we're going to R left click. We're going to repair. It's going to cost me 1.64 coins and 3 repair parts. Yes, please. Oop, we repaired it. We've lost some repair parts. We lost some gold, but we repaired our items. So this is going to be something essential that you go through. All your items will take durability other than your ammo. So my gathering tools will take durability. These will take durability, but you can deconstruct all of your gear to get repair parts. Now, I suggest you to deconstruct literally everything you get, especially early, to get repair parts. I would not sell them to a vendor, and I would not sell them on the marketplace. I would deconstruct them because the worst thing you can do is not have enough repair parts, and you need to repair your gear, and then you're just kind of, you know, up the creek without a paddle, as they say. All right, so that's the video. We've went over a ton of information. We've went over questing. We went over PvP. We went over repairing your gear. We went over salvaging. We went over stuff to gather, stuff to craft. We went over a bunch of things. This video is kind of long, but there's a lot of things to really understand when it comes to New World. I hope this video helps you out. You can find me at twitch.tv/Parfaxgaming. We stream every night, 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern time. Well, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We do some other streams, but those are the 4 days we have sort of nailed down in stone. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you want to see in the comment section down below. This is essentially just trying to help you get to 30. After 30, stuff opens up a little bit more. You can grind more mobs. You can do a few other things. You can start doing your dungeons at, I think, 25, which are really cool, which they're called expeditions. They're a ton of fun. Wait till you guys get in there and see those. They're absolutely beautiful. They're immersive. This game is awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Slap the like button, the subscribe button for New World content. We do ESO content. We do Crowfall content. We do it all here, guys. All right. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you soon.